Welcome to this part 7 of Projects of the People. This is where you get to send me videos of your vehicles, be them immaculate, be them hanging, be them exotic, be them boring and beige. It doesn't matter. You get 2 minutes to show the world what you have and why you like it. I'm Jonny Smith. Welcome to the Late Break Show. In the taxi. All 3 of these first bunch of clips are first cars. They're owned by guys who are either 17 and have just started driving or can't actually drive yet because they're not old enough. So take it away, Herbert, Sam and Daniel.
Oh, hi Herb.
Hi.
What are you up to?
Fast laps.
Fast laps. So what can you tell us about your Ford car then?
We got it in Exeter for 90 quid.
90 quid? Is it your first car?
No, it's my second.
Oh dear, what happened to the first car?
We smashed up the radiator.
Oh right, what, did that make the engine die?
Yeah.
Alright, how many miles has your car done then?
33,260.
Oh, not much then. And what did it fail its MOT on?
Rusted boot.
Oh, rusted boot, yeah, you can see a bit of daylight down through there, can't you?
Yeah.
So what do you think then? Good thing for kids to learn to drive cars or cars in the field, or wait till you're 17?
Good thing.
Good thing. Superb.
Hello Johnny and everyone at the Late Break Show. My name's Sam and this is my first car, a 1980 British Leyland Mini Clubman. She's been an absolute joy to work on since I bought her during the first coronavirus lockdown. So far we've treated her to new wings either side, 2 new A panels, repairs to the scuttle, various bits of welding around the front, 2 new front floor pans because they're completely rotted out. Go around the back, we've had repairs to either side of the roof channels. And then the boot has been completely resprayed in a lovely colour, VW Malibu Blue. It's had a new boot floor, 10 inches from the back of the car inwards, new valance, 2 new closing panels either side. The whole of the underside of the car has been treated to U-Pole Gravitex and then painted the same colour as the body shell. Looks very, very smart. The original subframe's been revamped, new brake lines, new handbrake cables, and I've just covered everything in copper grease to make sure the bolts don't stick. Moving on. Again, the inside of the car, that's going to get spray blue very shortly. Under the bonnet, much the same story as the boot. VW Malibu Blue, lovely, lovely colour. Lots of metallic, very glossy. Same front subframe, new brake lines, new fuel lines, and Cooper S 7.5 inch disc brakes, so I can run 10-inch wheels, which are these. Lots of overspray, but they are 10-inch Wellers, which is 7 inches wide, which is ridiculous. Moving on, we've got bumpers on the bench. They're going to go on very shortly. You get that black one chromed because that doesn't match. It's outright disgusting. This is the engine. It's a 1275 MG Metro lump with silicone hoses all round, alloy radiator, 12G940, 60s flat top head with a 1 3/4 inch carburettor, a new downpipe and manifold, new fuel pump, loads of, basically just had a full service really. Good to go, ran it last week, sounds perfect. And that's the engine. Runs like a dream, can't wait to put it back in. And that's my project. Thank you very much.
When was the last time you saw a classic Mini being used as a first car? I mean, the classic Minis used to be everywhere, and now they're not.
Hello Johnny and the Late Break Show viewers, I'm Daniel Acthouse and this is my Project of the People entry, my 2007 Fiat Panda 100 HP. Allow me to show you around. So this is actually the sportiest Panda you could buy, and this being the 100 HP was launched way back in 2006, and I really think it has aged very, very well because the side profile, being probably my favourite part of the car, is just such a fantastic look. It's boxy, but you've got the things like the tiny rear spoiler, the rear diffuser, the fat rear bumper, the Audi style front grille, that's a quote from Evo magazine, and just really aggressive trim. This has got the additional side stripes and powder coated grey wheels and some little things here and there that have been done over the years, but I just think it's such a lovely design. So I'm going to be honest with you all, I am only 15 years old, so really this is my parents' car at the moment, but when I turn 17, this is going to be my first car, and honestly, I can say safely I've been counting the days for exactly 15 years. I'm so excited to be getting in this car, racing around car parks and being a complete and utter moron. The Panda 100 HP is powered by a 1.4 litre naturally aspirated 16 valve engine, producing exactly, wait for this, 99 brake horsepower. I don't get that either, but I don't care because it sounds great. Oh crumbs, I forgot to mention the key part of this car, the performance exhaust. Anyway, I'm off for a drive, but only on my driveway because, as I said, sadly, I'm only 15, got a year to go. Thank you for watching my Projects of the People entry of the Panda, and a quick thank you to Jonny Smith on behalf of the Late Break Show viewers for keeping us all entertained during these challenging times. See you soon.
Whilst on the subject of first cars, actually, a while ago we got a video through from a guy called Miles. Now, we've actually featured Miles's car since, because Miles's first car, Miles from Bristol, has a DeLorean as his first car. So when we got this video through, which was a Projects of the People entry, we had to just go and meet him and do a proper film. And I'll put the link to that above. If you haven't watched it, I really urge you to go and do so. But yeah, this is Miles Reynolds Cole from Bristol and his DeLorean. And this is the original video that he sent us.
This is my lovely 1981 DeLorean. I'm Miles from Miles on Cars on YouTube, and people think these cars are awful, but that's just nonsense. I bought the car in 2017 and had to import it from America. It was the most painful 4 months I've ever had to wait. I've had to restore virtually every aspect of this car, as it had been a non-runner for 24 years before I got it. It's now lowered on SPAC shock absorbers all round with DeLorean Europe lowering springs, which looks awesome, and it's fairly comfortable too. I fitted a stainless steel free-flowing exhaust to the engine, which, coupled with a few fuel mixture tweaks, bumps the horsepower up to around the same as when it was new, about 138 horsepower, which means I can now keep up with a diesel Mini Countryman. The interior still needs a little TLC, but it's quite expensive, so that's going to have to wait for now.
In this next batch, I like the fact, in this next batch of videos, I like the fact that someone effectively rescued an abandoned MX-5. One guy has a fetish for British B roads and bought a Mark 1 MR2. And the final video is a bargain basement 80s Opel that's kindled a very, very special piece of family sentiment about his late father. Have a look at this.
Hello Jonny and viewers, my name is Moray, I'm from Normandy and this is my 1989 Opel Kadett. It has a 1.7 litre Isuzu engine, naturally aspirated, creating 57 horsepower. It's a diesel. And I came to own this car after watching the emotional episode of Top Gear where they drive their father's cars. And I lost my father when I was very young, and one of the few memories I have is being driven around in his Opel Kadett. Now his was white and it was a 1.6 petrol, something which I might change in the future with this car. But I found this one for €250 on the internet after doing a quick search, and the guy that was selling it was a very charismatic 70-year-old ex-mechanic. And it turned out it needed a new head gasket, which he supplied. The engine had to be put back together, and so I bought the car, got it delivered on a trailer, and set about doing the work myself, and got it running again. Got it through an MOT, and it only came back with a handful of things, nothing major, just had to redo the brakes. And since then, just been sort of working away at it, changing the fluids, and just about to get it properly on the road. But yeah, so that's my father's 1989 Opel Kadett. Might be white one day and have better engine, but for now this will do nicely. Thanks for watching.
Hi Johnny and everyone at the Late Break Show. I'm Ollie and these are my project cars. So we'll start with the MX-5 here. I recently got this car in the last couple of weeks actually. I've rescued her from a car park where she's been sat for 2 years. As you can imagine with all MX-5s, she's a bit rusty. She is a genuine 4-owner 74,000 mile car, so I feel like she's worth saving. The roof is quite scruffy and does leak. This will be a long-term project, I think, but one that I should enjoy. Again, more of the rust down here. And then secondly, my Clio 172 track car. So I bought this at the beginning of the lockdown in 2020. It's been fully stripped out. Cage and bucket seats. I took the engine out and stripped and checked it. It's running group N timing and being mapped to suit, running 185 horsepower. I'm still yet to actually get it on a track day due to the unable to book them because they're so busy at the moment, but that is in the pipeline and hopefully it should go well, although being French it probably will break at some point. And that is it. Thank you very much.
I actually claimed an abandoned car once from the local railway station car park, Volvo 340, and it turned out to be a 2-owner 40,000 mile car, free, which is the best price for any car, as you well know.
Hi everyone, I'm Colin from the YouTube channel Britain's Best B-Roads, and this is my 1988 Toyota MR2 Mk1, or the AW11 as it's called. I've had this car since January of this year. It was never a car I particularly really lusted after, but when I was researching what classic car, sports car I should get for my budget, which is around £6,000, the more I read about this car, the more interesting a proposition I thought it was. Suspension set up by Roger Becker, a very experienced Lotus engineer. The engine that's in it, 1.6 litre 16 valve double overhead cam belt driven engine, is basically a Cosworth BDA engine. It's a fantastic little engine, revs really well up to 8,000 revs, obviously mid-engined, no power steering. It's a fabulous little car to drive. I've done quite a lot of work on it since January, so rebuilt the cross member at the front where the radiator is, obviously flushed out all the radiator, new brake discs and pads and hoses, refurbished alloys, new tyres. Unfortunately I had quite a lot of welding done on it. The sills and the bottom of the wings on both sides were rotten right through, as well as the footwell, so they were all welded up and sprayed. Engine belt's been done, new water pump, new Magneco leads, distributor cap, all that sort of stuff, and it's now running almost beautifully. There's a rattle from the ball joints at the front, and there's a whine I think from the alternator at the back, so a little bit more work to do to get it running right, but nearly there, and I can thoroughly recommend it. It's a great little car to drive.
Do you appreciate car owners who also have motorbikes? I do, which is why this next cluster of clips feature motorcycle owners of all different nationalities. So take it away, Dan, Alex and Matt.
Hello Johnny, hello viewers of the Project of the People videos on YouTube. This is Alex from Germany, and I wanted to show you one of my projects, which is a 1953 NSU Max. It's a 250cc one-cylinder motorcycle, and it had been one of the faster bikes at that time. This motorcycle happened to be in my garage more by accident, because my father saw it in his elder years now to still make a motorcycle driving license, because he was as a child driving on this motorcycle together with my grandfather. We thought it would be a good idea to start with this as a motorcycle for a learner. He somehow stopped trying to get the license, so this happened to be now in my garage, and I have to keep and take care of the motorcycle. What I found out, as this being my first old-timer motorcycle, for this bike it's very easy to get spare parts, and it's even easier to get spare parts for this motorcycle than for maybe motorcycles of the 90s or 80s. So if you have some original spare part lists, it's perfectly easy that you get the original spare part number and order it online in some online shops. It's very easy, and I was very surprised how easy it is, and you get really all the stuff in there. One thing you don't get directly is original dampers, but I also found bespoke gas pressure dampers, which I have to exchange because the original ones are completely empty, and this motorcycle right now drives a little bit more like a pogo stick, so you're bumping over the street a little bit. But this will be done, and I'm perfectly sure that in this springtime this motorcycle can drive again on the street. So, take care. Hello, this is Alex from Germany. This is my Honda RVF 400 project. But being a Honda, it's not really a project because it only works, so it's a little bit boring. But as a motorcycle, it's very interesting because it's a 400cc V4 engine that has 67 horsepower. It has a single-sided swing arm for the rear wheel. Yeah, and was never officially sold in Europe. So this is a Japanese import, but it was completely converted to left-hand drive to make it easier to drive it on the streets here.
Hi, I'm Matt, and this is my 1951 Automoto 125 AV. I've owned it about 4 or 5 years, but it's only sort of two and a half years ago that I heard it run for the first time. Automoto were owned by Peugeot, and they were the sort of premium brand at the time, and this bike actually uses a Villiers engine, so a British engine, but built under license by Automoto in France. And that means I've had quite a few issues getting it running, mainly because the ignition system is completely different to the British engines. If I can get it running today, it is cold right now. If I can get it running today, I'll put a little clip of that in now. Despite what it looks like, I have actually done a lot of work to the bike over that period. I've done some little repairs, like there's a crack in this mudguard that I've got a stainless plate epoxied in so that from the outside the repair isn't visible. I've actually had some parts nickel plated rather than re-chromed so that it sort of fits in a little bit better, but does look better than the rusty parts that were there before. There's new brake shoes, new tyres, new bearings, gaskets in the engine, that sort of stuff. As I said, it doesn't run very well even when it is running, and so my long-term plan is to actually convert it to electric, but I want to keep the aesthetic, so the batteries would be hidden inside the tank. I'm currently collecting used laptop batteries to do that with, and actually I've found a motor that would be able to be hidden in the engine casing. So the aim would be to keep the visuals exactly as you see them now, but get it converted to electric. So hopefully at some point in the future you might see that.
I tried with a witty opening, but I can't think of anything, so I'll just show you around some of the bikes. So this is arguably the favourite, if you're supposed to have favourites. It's a 69 Starfire 250. It has run in the past. Needs some work. I think a bent valve stopping it running. Need to put the electronic ignition back in. There's some more electronics there, but she's a good honest bike. That's one. This one's called Tango. Well, there's some. That's a CB200. There's a little bit more. There's more of him here. And yeah, I bought him at an auto jumble for about 300 quid. In one piece, but absolutely knackered. So slowly working on unseizing that engine, putting them all back together. But the frame is actually solid, so that's good. This is my only running bike that my dad kind of gave to me because I had nothing to ride. So thanks, Dad. This is my 865. So pretty much a runner. Need to put the front mudguard back on. Looks a bit rough and ready, but doesn't actually run too bad. And just slowly working through this. I think this was crashed at some point in the late to mid 70s and came over just in a crate from America. So I've been putting that back on the road. And, oh, hello. Pull this out. So that's the original tank it came with. But now on its third through various leaks. But we will get there. Right. I think my time's up.
And one last bonus video. This is designer Greg Hewitt's lovely, completely standard, unmodified Nissan 350Z. When was the last time you saw a standard 350Z that's original down to the cassette deck? Well, Greg's done a really cool little edited video of him driving it, and I thought I'd save it till last. Here you go, Greg. Take it away. Best colour combo. Orange with a caramel interior. Oh.
Hi Johnny, I thought I'd offer up my car to your Project of the People video. So here it is, it's my 2007 Nissan 350Z. Now it's less of a project and more of a weekend car that I bought fairly cheaply. And it's of the age that it requires a bit of TLC. I mean, the service history on it is good, it just has a few bits of wear and tear that need addressing. So I've had the car 7 months now, and the work I've done to it so far has been fairly minor. I've put some new brakes on it, I've clay-barred and polished the paintwork, and I have restored the headlights. So the big job I need to save up for at the moment is that I have a rust patch near the filler cap. Now there doesn't appear to be any rust in any structural places, but I just want to make sure that that is fixed before it gets any worse. Otherwise, I'm happy to keep this actually fairly stock. I just like the way it drives. I don't feel the need to modify this particular car particularly heavily. I do really enjoy the stuff that people do to these, though I love the creativity in the community. But I think for myself, I just enjoy this as a nice road-going example, and yeah, enjoy driving it. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'd be interested to see what people think of it. I'd be interested to see what people think of the colour. I'm aware that it's a bit of a acquired taste. Keep up the good work, and I'd be excited to see what your other viewers have to show. Bye.
There you have it, the 7th Projects of the People. As with all the previous Projects of the People, and if you haven't watched those, I'll link to the playlist above. Thanks so much for everyone taking the time to make the video, sharing their little projects. Some of them are great, some of them are pretty like normal, but that's what makes them so cool. And just explaining why they like what they like and why they have what they have. I love it, especially during the dark days of full lockdown. So thanks everyone for doing that. If you have already subscribed to The Late Break Show, thank you very much. If you're a Patreon supporter of The Late Break Show, that's amazing, much appreciated. Feel free to like the video and comment below.